So, what if I told you that you could control 100 shares of a massive company without needing to have tens of thousands of dollars in your account? Well, by the end of this video, I'm going to explain to you what options are, how you can use them to leverage hundreds of dollars to make thousands of dollars, and give you real life examples on how I've done this to make money. So, let's get into it. All right. This is Darius Lester here talking more about options and trading. So, with this video, let's just talk about options straight out. I'll show you what type of options I used when I first learned about options versus what I do now. So, what you'll see on your screen is some of my options trading history. Right over here, you'll see some leaps, which is pretty much like long option plays that I've done. And, this is some of the percentages that I've made returns, some of the dollar amounts that I've made from doing them. These are just some of my big ones. This is filtered out by max and it's just put in order, right? So I made 6,000 off one, 4,000, 4,000, 3,000. And these are just during different times throughout different years. Over here, you will see what I'm doing now, which is all in the last month. And these are me doing spreads. The dollar amounts are smaller, but the wins are much more consistent and over a shorter time period. So let's talk about options and how I'm able to make money off of this versus just investing in stocks regularly. All right, what are stock options? How I control how I control hundreds of shares while owning zero, right? So today we're going to talk about what a stock option is. How do you make money from it? Safety first mentality, and it being your turn to start getting into these options. If you know, you know. All right. What's the stock option? Contracts with expiration dates. Definition: a contract that gives the right, but not the obligation, to buy or sell 100 shares of a stock at an agreed upon price by an agreed upon date, after which it expires, worthless if it's not exercised. If a stock option is exercised, that means that the person is paying the fee to turn that contract into 100 shares. Right? So I've said a lot. What does this actually mean? All right, I will break it down by giving you an example. So let's say that you want a house and the house costs $3,000 in January, not 3,000, 300,000. You pay the builder $5,000 right now saying, "Hey, builder, I love the house. I really want it, but I don't want to buy it at this second. Here's $5,000. Hold that for me at that same price for 6 months." Builder agrees. But as the months go by, the neighborhood booms. And now that house that I wanted is now worth $400,000 instead of $300,000. The contract that I made with the builder stated that I'm still allowed to buy that house at $300,000 because I gave him $5,000 to hold that price for me. Right? Hopefully, this is making sense. So I can either exercise that contract and buy that house at $3,000, or I could sell that contract to somebody else because they'll see that that contract allows them to buy that $400,000 house for $300,000. So they would be willing to pay me more than I paid for the contract initially, right? So in this scenario, I paid 5K, but somebody might be willing to pay 7K or 10K just to have that contract so that they can go and buy the house at a cheaper price because they know if they give up $10,000, they'll be buying pretty much $100,000 in equity. That's why it would make sense to them. But maybe I don't have the $300,000, so I couldn't exercise this anyway, but I do have a contract, so I can sell it and double my money. That would be a 100% return if I bought it for 5K and sold it for 10K. So hopefully that helped make sense of my first slide on how I was making, you know, lots of 100, 200% returns on stock options is because I bought a contract. The price of that stock went way higher than whatever I set my contract at. Thus, I could sell my contract to somebody else for more money. Alrighty. So, how do you make money from it? It's through the power of leverage, right? So, path A, Let's just say we're doing regular stock trading, not options. So if Apple cost $100 a share, the cost was, yeah, so it would cost me $10,000 to buy 100 shares of Apple. If Apple increased from $100 a share to $110 a share, I would gain $1,000, right? Because it went up 10%. If I had to pay $10,000 for that and that went up 10%, I would gain $1,000. So I made a 10% return, which is pretty good. Um, but I had to spend $10,000 of my actual money to get that. All right. Now, path B, right? Options trading. So, same thing, same Apple, $100 a share. But in this scenario, it would cost me $200 to buy one call contract of Apple. And remember, a one call contract gives me the right, but not the obligation, to buy 100 shares of Apple at a set price. Apple now increases to 110. The contract value could increase to $400, right? And that's a like 100% return, or $600, 300% return. While so I could make 200 or 300% return on my $200, but the counterbalance of that is I'm risking that entire $200. So hopefully you can kind of start to see how this could make you money, because you can use less money to control an asset that costs more. And then you can either exercise it to purchase that asset, or you can sell it to somebody else because it's worth more to them as well. All right. And again, here is some examples of me doing this. Most of these are me buying a call, which is basically saying I'm bullish on this trade. I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and buy this now. Like, I have some I haven't closed out yet, but let's say, right, this is Nvidia. Everybody knows Nvidia is a great company. Nvidia right now costs way more than $122. Uh, so if I went when I bought this call option on Nvidia at 122 and then sold it to somebody else because Nvidia jumped up to 150, 160, somebody was willing to pay me more than double, right? 112% more than double what I initially paid for the contract, which, got me an extra $4,000. And you can pause if you want to look at some other examples of me doing that. Some of these are up in the 200 percent ranges. I think this is the biggest one I've done, which is 241% from a trade, which is really nice because this was done in like less than a year. And honestly, I just looked at Shop recently. I'm probably going to try to do another leap option call on Shop because I like where it's at. But we're going to see how this whole Iran thing goes. Anyways, safety first mentality. So there are huge risks in this arena. While it's great, I'm showing you all this green, all this money that can be made, money can also be lost. The thing with options is you can make more money because you're doing leverage, but let's say the option does not get to the number that you said it was going to and it expires, it just goes away. You just lose the money, right? That $200 you had, and some of those trades where I made 100, I was wagering $3,000 or $4,000. If it got to the expiration date, all that money would just be gone because it did not become profitable, and I didn't sell it to anybody because it wasn't profitable. Nobody wanted it, and I didn't exercise it. Uh, so, warning: because options are leveraged, they can gain value and lose value very quickly if you don't know what you're doing. Please take that into account. The solution: don't just buy random options hoping they go up. Don't just buy random options hoping they go up. So many people do that and they just lose tons and tons of money. And then they say trading options is a scam. The secret is having a system that defines your risk before you ever click the buy button. The options trading strategy I do now, I know all the risk. I know my max loss that I could lose. I know where I'm willing to cut the line to stop losing money. And I know how much money I plan on getting, a roundabout area from my trade before I decide to open any new positions. All right. So it's your turn. Yeah. All right. So, what are you doing lately to increase your wealth? For true beginners, stocks, ETFs, index funds, dollar cost averaging, compounding interest, dividends, all this stuff is free education. You should come to Mammoth Money Academy to learn these things. Options is a little more of an advanced strategy, right? But if you're just a true beginner and you have no idea what I'm talking about when I say options, get these basics down. After you get these basics down and get your foundation, then you can start looking into how to get, 100%, 200%, 300% returns on your money. Now, for my action takers, people who are ready to go ahead and jump in to the deep end with options, you can join our private options trading group where before you even join, I will sit down and do a one-on-one walkthrough with you. I'll show you how I do my options trading. I'll give you a few different options trading methods, and you can pick whichever one is best for your lifestyle, how much free time you have, how much money you intend to make, all those things. And then you can join the group and share with others while you're going through your trading journey. We share our wins, we share our losses, we share news reports. It's a good community. I kind of love it. It's building pretty fast. So please click the link in the description and come see what we got. Boom. At Mammoth Money Academy, we learn and grow together. Again, links in the description if you want to check it out. It's free to join. If you wanted to get into the options group, it does cost money. But that's just because we only want committed people inside of there and we are actively making money. So it pays for itself. Okay. Yep. That was all I had to say. This is Darius Lester. This is just education on options and me showing you my personal experience. You are not guaranteed to have the same experience I will. Do your best. Keep learning. Find a coach. I believe in you. All right. Have a good night.